And maybe I haven't served you well by having it go this long, because now we're involved working together. But that's still expected, and it's expected by our clinic director. And they're letting me know that you and I can't keep working together if you're not going to get into a skills group or be on your way in something. So it's sort of a reality that we're both kind of like not facing up to.
Do you really think that it's good that if I am to go into group therapy, that it's because I'm in a way being strong-armed, or because I'm going into group therapy with all of this resistance?
I know you feel strong-armed. No, that wasn't from the beginning. That's like strong-armed is I'm trying to think how we got into this situation, and I feel I participated in it too. It's not you alone, but I mean, it wouldn't be strong-armed. Let's say you were, I don't know. Let's say you joined a cooking group. It wasn't therapy, a cooking group. And you were expected to go to the class of the cooking group where you learn about cooking, and you're also expected to go to the lab where you practice cooking. And that's just part of the deal. Now, and everybody has to go to both. And you went into that and you said, I'm being strong-armed into having to go to the class because I just want to go to the lab. I just want to cook. But it was right on the, it was in the not even the small print. It was part of the deal. Would you say that person's being strong-armed to go to the class because now they like the lab and now they have to go to the other one? That's not strong-armed. That's just part of the deal. But by now, isn't it possible that it just feels strong-armed? Because now you're connected to me.
I just thought that you had more control over the situation when it came to, on a case-by-case basis, making exceptions for certain people. And, I didn't realize, I guess, or maybe it was wishful thinking, that it was so written in stone.
No, and as I hear you say this, I think it's completely understandable that you would not know that. Because even if there are rules up front, we haven't been enforcing it. And so how would you know that it's going to come up as a problem? 4 months is a long time to work together. And so, of course, you might think, well, maybe an exception was made. I mean, I keep bringing it up and harping on it, as you say, but I haven't made you do it. I haven't enforced any ultimatum, so it's understandable that you would kind of think what you think, which is that maybe you and I can get away without that.
Well,
but it turns out we can't. So I get where you're at. It makes complete sense. But do you get where I'm at? Do you get where I'm at? There's a clinic here. I'm not a totally independent agent. This is a program, and there's good reasons for it to be a program like this. The evidence for this treatment is evidence for this plus a skills group. There's no evidence for just this.
Does it ever make you upset that all of these rules are in place? I mean, these are what you fall back on when it comes to we can't get together for just a cup of coffee ever in real life. I mean, the only time that we can ever see each other is in these sessions.
Yeah, I know.
Which I'm sure you're happy about because you're probably thinking, God, she's a pain in the ass. But I enjoy spending time with you.
No, it's not true.
So,
I like our work together. I like working with you. I think it's and I'm attached to you and you're attached to me. So all of that is true. You're asking me, do I ever get upset about these rules? I consider these rules, I am upset about them, especially if I think they aren't the rules that lead to good treatment and a good outcome. Because the point of our relationship, even if we like each other, the point of our relationship is to help you build a life worth living. And there's a lot of evidence for you and me just working together here, for you and me just working together here while you're in a skills group, and me knowing the skills. It's like a perfect synergy. So I think I come at this for really good reasons. And yes, I'm sometimes personally, I bump up against rules, and then I have to think, do the rules make sense to me? Are they rules in place to keep good treatment? I think these are mostly to keep good treatment. The fact that it's a little rigid sometimes, yeah, I don't like rigid rules. But I go by them if I'm in a larger setting where this is my clinic. I'm part of this.
So if I was ever completely better, which it seems like a pipe dream, but if I ever was, then we wouldn't see each other anymore.
No, then if we ended our therapy, we would have to renegotiate, what does it mean to be ex-patient, ex-therapist? You know, but if we're still therapist and patient, there's pretty much a set of rules, and I'll tell you, that's not just the system of the clinic. That's the system that I'm in another system, which is I'm a psychiatrist in larger organizations of psychiatrists, and they have very careful rules about boundaries that I don't always agree with totally, but I abide by because they are my professional organization. And because there's some people that when they break boundaries, change boundaries, things don't go well. I'm not sure that would be true for me, but I go by those rules. I go by those rules because I'm willing to be a psychiatrist and they have rules like that. I go by rules at this clinic because I'm willing to be in this. But you know, you're not a psychiatrist, you're not in this clinic as an employee, so it makes complete sense to me. You and I would disagree about this or come from different places. But is there any way we could, like, I don't know, I feel like you're hearing where I'm coming from. I'm not just trying to dump you. I'm not just trying to issue an ultimatum. I do feel responsible for letting this drag on to 4 months so that we haven't really dealt with it. And that's partly my problem too. But we have to deal with it. How are we going to do it?
I mean, so what is my motivation here is that I want us to continue together
Okay.
in our private one-on-one.
Me
So
too.
in order for that to happen, I guess logically I have to go to these group sessions.
Yeah, that's
And
right. But is there a way to honor maybe one of the things we'd have to do is figure out, is there a way to honor what your concerns are about being in a group, which I'm sure are valid?
Is there gonna be
We've talked
food
about
there?
them before. What?
Is there gonna be food there? Snacks?
You know, when I run this group, sometimes everybody agrees to take turns bringing in snacks. There is a canteen not far away. You can bring. They aren't going to say don't bring snacks, but I don't know that the group provides snacks.
So
Why
I can
would that
drink
make some
coffee when I'm
difference?
in there.
You can drink coffee. My guess is most people probably have coffee, and there's also a break in the middle of the group where people can just sort of chill out for 15 minutes. And just kind of do whatever they want to do. So
Has anyone started dating?
within the group,
Yeah.
that happens sometimes. Actually can become a problem. There's actually one of the rules of the group is that if any two group members become a couple, because we recognize that can happen, you know, we don't find it works very well to have a couple in a group. So then we have to do some problem solving. Like who stays in the group and who leaves the group and who comes back after the other one's gone. And, you know, but that's sort of going way down the road. But I like the idea that you're actually thinking about relationships that you've been staying out of for a long time, even that thought. But I don't want to, no, it's not a singles dating group. But I don't say people don't ever meet each other there. And there are men and women in this
I'm just kind of grasping at straws of anything that
I
could be
love it that
remotely
you're- I love
positive
it that
that
you're
I could
thinking
get
of.
out of this group since I'm, you know, I will go since it's come to this.
Okay, I really appreciate that, and you know that we're coming to this, and I still want to honor that we figure out how going to this group doesn't mean you give up all your worries about this group. It might be that we need to think about how you enter, what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel comfortable, and that you and I put this on our agenda. I'll be very supportive about this. So I appreciate that you're willing to do it. You and I will be able to continue working together, which is really good. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm concerned that it's going to be another time drain and I won't be able to, you know, work out that one day a week after work. Because I assume this doesn't happen on a weekend.
Good. So you can work on how rigid you are about working out every day too. That'll be helpful. I'm kidding you there. I know. I'm feeling kind of good that you're willing to do this, and so I'm being a little cute, which is not very cute. I take it back. You can't take back things you said. I apologize. That
It's a
wasn't
silver
it
lining,
wasn't
I
funny.
suppose.
It isn't. It probably might not be. I think it's good that you work out, and I think as your life gets a little fuller, you'll figure out how to keep doing that, but also you'll have other things going on.